I hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to my channel. I literally just got the Alyssa Edwards and Anastasia Beverly Hills palette in the mail. I could not wait to film with it and just play with some makeup. I was so excited. I know this is not like an everyday type palette, but I just love playing with colors. To me, like, that really does inspire me the most, just seeing lots of bright colors. I just think makeup is so fun. So that's kind of what I do with this look, and I know I've used kind of these colors before when I'm playing with bright makeup, but I just feel like that's my go-to, and this is kind of like what I'm drawn towards. Also, this look is inspired by Katie March. I found this photo on Instagram. She used a little bit more blues, and she definitely kind of like winged out the eye look a little bit more than I did, but I just love this photo, so shout out to Katie, and I'll link her account down below. Her looks are amazing and so beautiful. Anyways, all that being said, I hope you guys are excited for today's tutorial, and let's get started. Recently, I had someone ask me how I plan out my looks, if I like to draw them out first, and the answer is no, I don't. I typically just kind of go all in and just go for it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. What I'll do when I'm filming though is I will do one eye off camera and then come over here to do the second eye, and this is kind of like my test run. So overall, I feel like it turned out really good just from the test run in general. The only thing I wanted to change is I felt like the purple, what shade is it? It's a shade called Unicorn Tribe. It looks a lot more purple in the palette, but then I feel like when blended with the pink one, the Texas Made, you can't really see much of a difference. Like, you can't really see that, and I wanted to really emphasize that more doing this side. And I also noticed too that I kept getting higher and higher with this blend. I wanted to keep it lower, but it definitely got blown out pretty quickly, so I'm going to be paying more attention to that when I do the right side. And also good for you guys to know too, if you're blending with some of these brighter colors, I would just go in as little as possible and just keep it as low as possible, so that way if you want to fade it upwards, it's easier, and you don't like go too high too quickly. But with that being said, let's start on the right eye with a clean slate. So Anastasia did release a primer when they released this collection as well, and I'm so excited to try it out. I used it on my left eye, and I felt like it performed beautifully. I feel like I have a hard time finding a primer that really works for my eyes. I do have more dry eyes, and I find that it sometimes makes it harder for me to blend. So I'm super excited to try out this primer with this eye look today. And take the smallest amount on my ring finger. I'll start in the middle, and that way I'll disperse it across my eye. Since it is lighter and it matches my skin tone pretty well, I really won't have to worry much about it not like blending in. But she explained that even if you have darker skin, the purpose of this is to just act as a base for the shadows, and you really want to only put this where you put shadows on. And then when you do that, she showed like images of people with darker skin, it just covered it right up, so you don't end up seeing this color at all in the end result. But what it does, it helps make those brighter colors pop because it acts like such a nice light base. Since this is more of an ombre look and it's more of a fade where you have the darker colors in the middle and you fade to light, I'm actually going to start at the base and start with some of the darker colors and then blend up towards yellow. For this look today, I'm taking the shade Unicorn Tribe. It's that lavender color. I'm also taking Texas Made, that bright pink, and Brick Road, which is that beautiful yellow color. I'll also be using the white shade headliner as well, just to help soften the edges around the Brick Road color. Barely tapping into that. Picks up a lot of color. I'm gonna start by just packing that on ever so lightly. And you can see it just has so much pigment. With this, I'm just tapping it, I'm not sweeping it. And I want to keep this as close to my eye as possible. You kind of want to put this right where you put like an eyeliner. I also like to start in the middle and move outwards because I want the middle to be the most pigmented. And typically when there's a little bit less product on the brush, it's easier to blend. And I want my edges to be really soft, so that's why I'm starting a little bit heavier in the middle and then moving outwards. I'm also starting to move up a little bit too, as there gets to be less product on the brush. So I still have not even tapped back into the product. This is all just that one little tap. There's a lot of pigment. I am starting to lose a little bit of the pigment in the middle, so I'll just tap back into that and reapply. That is about as high as I will go before going in with the hot pink Texas Made shade. So using the same brush, I'll just pick it up on the other side, dipping into Texas Made. Again, very pigmented, I barely touch the palette. And just start right along where that edge is. With this eye look too, I'm kind of keeping it more circular. You'll see some other people too, they'll kind of like bring it out to a point, but I keep my eye looks looking very rounded. So even when I'm applying this, I'm trying to keep a rounded shape. Almost like this is a half circle. And this is why we start off really low and then slowly build upwards, because it is very easy. I noticed it on this side, I really wanted to keep that pink right through here, and then I just kept going up. So what we're gonna do on this side is be a little bit more careful and make sure that we keep it low and start blending in that yellow color earlier. And if all of a sudden you're starting to lose that differentiation between the two colors, it's okay, we can go back in and add more colors. These colors do blend together really nicely. What's crazy is that I've only used 2 colors and it looks so nicely blended. This isn't even like a blending brush, and I'm not even using it for that purpose, but the edges still look so soft. These shadows are so easy to use, which I find is really rare for pigmented shadows. I feel like they're really hard to use, so I'm really impressed by that. So going back into Unicorn Tribe and popping that right in the middle. You can see that we definitely brought that color back. And then a little bit more of Texas Made. I'm mainly concentrating these colors right in where my crease is. My crease kind of goes up to here. So I'm just trying to keep that lower than the crease. And then we'll start to fade them up. What's amazing to me too is that there's no fallout. There is a little bit of kickback when I pick up the shadow, but you can see it's not falling down on my face, which is also really surprising because usually with pigmented shadows, you do get a lot of fallout. Once that is as pigmented as I would like, I'm then taking the other side of the brush and picking up Rick Road. That is that bright yellow shade. I'm just gonna place that right on top of Texas Made. So I'm gonna start a little bit higher and then kind of blend downwards. But like, look at that color. Amazingly enough, this will turn into this orange shade by mixing these 2 colors together, and it's so pretty. So I'm just kind of starting in the middle where my crease is. And this shade I've noticed does blend out quickly, meaning that it will fade. So if you want to keep it as pigmented as possible and very vibrant, you do have to mix in or keep layering it. I don't know why, but right now this eye look is totally reminding me of McDonald's. Alright, so right now they're looking pretty contrasty and not blended at all, which is totally fine. Now we're going to start picking up a little bit more of Texas Made and blending it into the yellow. I'm going in packing motions, not like sweeping it everywhere. Starting to go a little bit above my crease. And then what I will do is take more of that Brick Road and go right over those edges we just created. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher. Alright, now taking that fluffier brush, dipping into Texas Made, and I start softly blending that by starting in the middle and then going out to the edges. And with this look, I'm really just following where my crease goes. I'm not trying to bring it out to a point, I'm just kind of trying to create more of a domed eye look. But it's creating this amazing, vivid, like almost orange neon color by mixing these 2 shadows together, and I think it's so pretty. Then picking up more of Brick Road and just going on top of that blend. I just feel like these shadows blend so nicely together, which can be really challenging and hard to find with this bright of shadows. So that's what I feel like the most impressed by. But I'm living for this like neon pink look. Alright, we've started to lose a little bit of purple, so just taking more of that Unicorn Tribe and packing it on. And then blending some Texas Made on top of it. Alright, so we've started to lose that yellow. So what I'm going to do is just grab a clean brush. This is the Morphe M433 brush, dipping into Brick Road. So as you can tell, that's the only thing on my brush. I'm going to very lightly, and you will see a little bit of fallout, that's okay. Very, very lightly start to blend out those edges. Again, you want to start up high, and then bring down lower. To get rid of some of the fallout, all you have to do is take that other brush that we used before, just very lightly sweep it. You don't want to press down. If you just lightly sweep it away, it won't affect any of the colors. So from here on out, I will only use this brush for the yellow shade. I'm only going to use that right where those two colors meet, Brick Road and Texas Made. I do want to lighten up this section right here a little bit, so I'm taking the shade Headliner, it's that white shade, on a Sephora Pro number 27 brush. Again, another clean brush. I'm going to very lightly start to use it to kind of just shape the look. Then picking up more of that Brick Road on that same brush. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just going on with the same 4 colors over and over again and just keep blending them and packing them on until I've reached the color that I'm looking for. This might look different on your eyes, or you might have a different preference. Maybe you want it to be more orange and you want to use less of these colors. That's totally fine. Just basically keep going until you feel like you've reached a point where you feel like the blend looks good and you've reached the color that you were hoping for. I really want this pink to pop, but I also want the fade to look a little bit softer. So I will go back again with the same Brick Road shade and just blend that together. Alright, so that's finally at a spot that I really like. It still went a little bit higher than I wanted to, but again, practice makes perfect, especially with these types of eye looks. I don't typically do all matte looks, so this is something of a challenge for me, but I really like how it turned out, and it is really fun playing with these colors and just seeing how they react to each other and seeing like how they'll blend out. So I will go ahead and wipe away some of this fallout and then come right back to show you guys how I do the under eye part. Alright, so we're back. I just did my face off camera, included some foundation, blush, highlight, the whole shebang. Now we're going to do the under eye area. So going in first with that shade Unicorn Tribe, I'm going to take that same Anastasia brush and just start to pack that right underneath. And I am just lightly tapping this. I'm not really sweeping it side to side. Just kind of lightly packing this on. When there is less product, that's when I'll go in and start to sweep side to side. So I did correct it on this side, but I wanted to just keep that pink underneath and not blend with the yellow shade. There is a smidge of fallout, so I will just take a clean brush and just brush that away. And that is the finished eye look, so let me go pop on some false lashes and mascara to show you guys the full face finished look. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I love how it turned out. This is so much like brighter and darker than I normally do, but I think it's just like so fun to play with makeup, and I know that like with my audience, this is not a palette that you guys would typically gravitate towards, but I just love playing with color, and once I saw that like bright yellow and that bright pink, I just felt like it was calling my name, and I just felt so inspired to play with makeup. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!